let's get right into Assassin's Creed. Look, here's the thing. As you can see by the title, Assassin's Creed Shadow breaks records, right? And it has. It's one of the most successful games on Steam. It's doing really well on consoles, and that's of course multiple platforms, not just PlayStation or Xbox. It's doing very well. There were already 2 million players from I think the first weekend, which is great. And as you can see in the back end of it, and defies false narratives, because leading up to this, Umbra, all we kept hearing was DEI, that somehow that invoked that kind of ideology and it ruined the game before people even touched it. And I never fall for the virtual banana in the tailpipe. I go based on my personal opinion. Someone can be like, hey, Boom, I think you're going to like this game, and I'll give it a try. Or I don't think you're going to like this game, and I still will give it a try because, well, ultimately my opinion matters the most. This is a game, Umbra, that I think every Assassin's Creed fan have been waiting for over a decade. If you are a fan of the series, if you've been following it as long as many of us have, this is the one overlay, the one region that goes like peanut butter and jelly perfect together. Samurai, ninja, shinobi, the backdrop of ancient Japan. And, when you play this game, first of all, it's very big. It's a very wide open game. And you can just get lost, like you were saying, in the scenery. Every turn is crafted in a way, and folks, I'm not blowing smoke up anyone's you-know-what. I bought the game. I mean, I didn't buy the game. I got it through Ubisoft Plus, but I did spend money on the game. Like I said, you saw I bought the Ghost Horse and the armor. I'm probably good for about $60 or $70 in DLC for their games. I don't mind that at all. But I happily pay my $20 a month for Ubisoft Plus, and that's for me why I can justify. Hey, if I drop $60, it's like I bought the game, and it's fine. But I already spent, I think it was $35 on the credits that you can use to buy stuff, and I bought a bunch of like cosmetics. I'm a
cosmetic thought too. I get it, Bo. You don't. I feel you. Although I bought the deluxe edition.
Oh, okay, very nice. Okay.
So I have that like dragon mount you could ride around on, as well as like those
that's the thing
armor.
with Ubisoft Plus. I got that as well. See, with
dope.
Ubisoft Plus, you get the. See, I was good for what used to be the $120 gold edition, right? They've always had multiple editions. And for almost every Ubisoft game, because I love Ubisoft as a developer, I know they don't do the greatest when it comes to their employees, but their games are just amazing. Whether it be Far Cry, whether it be, I was going to say Splinter Cell, but we haven't seen Sam Fisher in 2 decades, so it's fine.
It's been a minute.
But you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of them, including Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to focus on here, Umbra, is something more specific to what you said, is about going around the world, and in just about every instance, and I agree with you, I don't necessarily know if Unreal Engine 5, as powerful as it is, could have pulled off what I believe to be literal virtual artwork at every turn. Whether you're running around through bamboo or the trees, or you stumble upon a village that has been looted by bandits, or you see a castle in the distance that you could run to, that you're going to go around and loot and get new gear. The game is absolutely stunning. I've had no bugs, thank goodness, whatsoever. I've had no issues with saves. I save all the freaking time. Some of the things that they did differently is that even when you're in one of these encampments, before you used to have to step out to save. They've changed that. Now you could literally save anywhere. So if you
fortunate.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
they got me a few times.
They've got me because
I saved.
So let's talk about your experience for Assassin's Creed Shadow. Again, for me, it's been stellar to the point where, and this is how I know a game gets me. I go to sleep and I'm dreaming about the game, I will get up and I'll look at the clock and I'm like, my God, I got to get up in 4 hours, but I think I could spare 45. And I'll get up and I'll play for an hour.
Yeah.
And that's how I know the game has gotten me.
For sure.
This game has got me. Let's get your thoughts, man.
For sure. What's funny is I got off this morning. You know, I'm usually probably tired by this point. So I put the game on and played a bit before the show. I'm like, I need to give me a little assassinations on real quick. You know, put the game on and got about an hour in, you know. And you're right. It's definitely one of those games where you kind of get slightly addicted to it once you get engrossed into their world. Just like you said, man, it's a stunning world, man. I turn it on. Like I said, I'm riding around and I'm just like, yo, these devs at Ubisoft Quebec, they deserve, or should I say, is it Quebec or Quebec? I don't know if I'm gonna say it wrong.
I think either way would be acceptable.
Somebody would be like, the Q is more silent than that or something. I don't know. But man, they deserve a hand of applause, just being honest. And my thing is, it's a lot of praise I can put onto this. So I'm going to try to sum it up as nicely as I can. You mentioned the fact of riding around, and just like I said, we both agree. You ride around, man, and you see this world, and I would put this world next to, and this is a tough one to say because that world is so well done. I would put it next to RDR2 in terms of detail.
Wow.
In terms of
high praise, brother.
This is one of the highest praise I can possibly give, because to me, RDR2 is a masterpiece, and there's very few games that out detail it when it comes down to it. This is really close in my honest opinion, and probably outdoes it in some different ways. Maybe like population and stuff like that when you get inside certain cities and stuff. I don't know if I want to really say all that, but RDR2 had crazy detail, like the horses, man parts drawn up when it's cold outside. That's how crazy the detail is in RDR2. So I won't put it all the way on that level, but I just have to say, when you look at the love poured into this, as far as the general detail of an Azuchi Momoyama period Japan, an area of Japan, should I say, back in that whatever century was it, 1700s, whatever. Maybe further back than that. Actually, I needed to look into that. But you have to understand that these, like, people often argue, oh, these devs are lazy. I don't believe that. If you play this game and you come away with that thought, I don't know what to say to you. And that's why, like, I was watching Destin the other day on his show, and he was like, it just sounded so negative the way he was talking about it. And you know how people can say something, but you can lead with negativity on how you speak, and it doesn't sound like you're saying what you agree with your statement. So, like, if I say, yeah, the game is a 7, it's not a bad score, it's a good game. I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and this could have been bad. This also I thought was useless. It doesn't sound like a 7 when you start describing it. You know what I mean? And that's what he was doing. And I was like, listen, and this was no shade to him, but I think that people in the media have such a I feel like a lot of them are jaded. I'll just be as honest as I can.
I just wonder you know what's interesting. I don't want to get off the subject, but you said something that's very interesting, and I don't know if it's jaded or because they have so much access that they have lost the excitement of seeing something new. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, for me, I don't know. The way I look at gaming, man, I just need to enjoy that world. I want to feel engrossed. Are the characters well done? Is the voice acting well done? Is the combat fun? All of these things AC Shadows has. Voice acting is great in English. Voice acting is superb in Japanese and Portuguese. The combat is fun and engaging, especially when you mix up and match up the different styles, from using the kusanagari that she used and the tanto or the katana. I haven't got to Sasuke yet. That's the craziest part. So
me either. Dude, you know what's crazy? I have not gotten to him yet, outside of the initial starting with, which is crazy.
Exactly. It's so much to do in this world, y'all. I'm not even being funny. This map, and y'all, you all know, I haven't played. Let me just say this too. It's a bit of a disclaimer. I haven't played in the mainline Creed game since Unity. That's where I stopped, and I didn't even get through Unity all the way. Because Unity, I was like, okay, this is a little daunting, right? This map is way bigger than Unity. And like I heard people talking about Odyssey and stuff. Now I see what they mean, because this map is gigantic.
I have nearly 40 day 40. I have nearly 20 days in Odyssey, bro.
Sheesh. I remember you telling me about that. And you had, I think you were like 200 hours in and you couldn't finish getting everything at the point.
Just love it, man. Origins and this are, again, this is honestly become one of my favorite in the series, and I think that might be me, like a me thing, because I have such an affection and appreciation for Japanese culture and Japan, and I love it, man. It's so, and you know what, the brutality in this game,
oh man,
bonkers, bro.
Yeah. They give you a lot of accessibility too. So you got a lot of ways you can approach it, like instant assassinations, which probably should have been on to start. But it's that RPG-esque thing they've been moving to. But you can turn it on, and you can actually build your skills to allow you to take out stronger enemies with one, jab of the old trusty assassin blade, if you will. And so like it leaves a lot of different ways to play styles on how you want to approach it. The kunai, the shuriken, things like that. You can take people out with a nicely thrown kunai or whatever. And so like it's all types of ways you can do it. Double assassinations are gorgeous. I jump down, I'll be feeling like a badass taking 2 people out. Actually, I got on this, I forgot what they call it, the tool fit, whatever that she wears, or Shinobi tool fit, whatever. So I jump down and it's like 3 people. I'll double assassinate them, and because of the perk on that outfit, she'll throw a kunai right at somebody's head to kill them too.
Wow. So I just unlocked a double assassination. I did not find, now it's an outfit that you, or is it,
you can find it in I think it's Kanato Castle. I forgot the name of it. It starts with a K. I think it's Kanato. But yeah, you can find it. That's one of the first things. I was just roaming all around. This is what I say about this too. Like you said, you roam around. You're like, oh, it's a castle. Let me go do that. That's what I did, and I just end up getting that by taking the daimyo out, the samurai daimyo in the castle area, and open the chest, and I actually got it. Didn't realize that perk came with it until later. I'm like, why am I? I'm like, I'm a badass. I'm throwing kunai at people after I take somebody out. I didn't know. And until I looked at a video, they like, make sure you get these things, 10 things you didn't know about. I'm like, let me check that out. And I was like, oh, okay.
I actually have that video queued, by the way.
Yeah. So I learned a few things. But I don't want to keep going. I'm droning on, but I'm like, when I really love something and I'm really enjoying something, this is how I sound. And so I don't say these things because people got I think a lot of people will kind of get the view like, oh, you're just kind of saying this because whatever. No, I say this because I love gaming. And that's why I feel, and that's why I was saying during Destin's, to track back to that. And it's not to throw shade at Destin, but I think that a lot of times people lead with the discussion of gaming wrong. And to me, this is an outlet for us. This is an escape.
Yep.
There should not be such negativity around what you're talking about, in my opinion, unless the game is trash. And this game is not trash. He's like, oh, it's a 7. And he's like, it's not a bad score, but you know the connotation around the 7 nowadays. Yeah. We all know it. And that throwing a 7 out there, then speaking a bunch of negativity after you name the score does not sound like a 7. It sounds like you're giving it a 6 or a 5. You know what I mean? And so that's the only thing I was saying. I said, listen, don't anybody listen to anything else. Just like you talked about before. Somebody could tell you whatever. You're going to go find out yourself.
Yep.
I say that to everybody listening too. If you're on the fence, do the Ubisoft Plus and pay what, $17 for a month and play the whole game. And do it that way if you want. Or if you plan and you say, like, I like this, I'm going to buy the whole thing. Do that, whatever. Try it out yourself. Don't take anybody else's word, even mine. Try it yourself and then see. That's what I would highly suggest. Again, I have been roaming around doing all these things. I haven't even really been doing missions the way I need to because I'm roaming around. You know how we play these types of games. So this game is a trap for me because not only does it have the fog of war,
it's definitely an Umbra and Boom type of
game.
Yeah,
I'm going all around the map. I got so much to do, and it got the fog of war too. Oh, I'm in trouble. So I'm going to be on this game. I can see at least 200 plus.
I'm not going to front. I bought the map with my credit. I buy old maps.
It's a map you can buy for it.
It's like I think it's like 400 of the Ubisoft credit things, and it just shows everything, brother. There is no fog.
I might have to do that.
Yeah, you know what, folks? I know that I'm probably responsible for the microtransaction isms of the world, because when the horse armor first came out, I gladly dropped down like $5 and I didn't think twice. And when it comes to Ubisoft stuff, they get my money. I'm good for at least 2 purchases. Odyssey was perfect example of that, because there was a film from back in the days that they remade it. It wasn't as good. Clash of the Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of it for a multitude of reasons, and more specifically, the Pegasus was an awesome part of that film, and they had that for Odyssey, and you could it couldn't fly like the actual Pegasus could, but what it could do is you could jump off a cliff that's like 1,000 feet down, and it would just float down and it wouldn't kill the horse. So that's why I bought that, and I was like, yeah, I like the armor set. So when I saw this, they have it's like a ghost horse, and you had like this ghost armor, which now I have to level up. She has like glowing red eyes. She looks like a female Skeletor is what she looks like, and that looks dude, I'm sorry, yeah, dope.
He-Man. Look at the chat,
sound like that. That's a really good. That's a really good one.
Look at this chat. They say, "How dare you, Boom? Boom."
I know.
Listen, part of the problem.
I am definitely a part. Listen, folks. I know I have a problem. Hi, my name is Boom. I'm sitting around talking with everybody. It's not a problem.
I too am an aesthetic and microtransaction thought. Yes, I'm sorry.
So, like I said, didn't it all start with the horse armor? In fact, it did. Indeed, it did. So the horse armor for $5 was definitely a problem.
People were talking about the 2 million playing and all that. That doesn't mean necessarily sales, but they're counting sales and Ubisoft Plus, so they're getting money regardless. So it's not like
At the end of the day, it is doing good. It's doing really good Steam numbers, like really good concurrent players. I think it's only behind Valhalla, which, by the way, I hated.
I heard mixed things with Valhalla.
I hated Valhalla. I really did. I put 30 hours into it. I absolutely loathed it. It was always always a chore. I hated the raiding parties. I hated the building. It just felt like such a slog of chores to do, where this doesn't. Now there is some building, but you build and it's quick. But we'll get into that. I want people to experience. I'll say this. Right now, and thanks to Will, the insider, Broke Boy Lewis, he had put this in the chat, I think, yesterday. I think it might have been Will, or might have even been Friday, where Ubisoft Plus for new subscribers had a deal for 12 months. It was $107. That is phenomenal if you consider I pay $20 after tax. So just do the math, and you can actually get Ubisoft Plus the whole entire year. Now, again, I say this to say, and I want to bring Jamie in and get his hot take on this, is that if you buy 2 Ubisoft games a year, here you go. Because when you have Ubisoft Plus, and remember, folks, I don't get a dime for this. Ubisoft ain't paying me. So I'm just saying this as a smart consumer. If you buy 2 Ubisoft games a year, whatever those games are, if you buy 2 of them, you get the highest gold edition with Ubisoft Plus. Any expansion, any DLC, it's all included. And if someone that maybe skipped out on some of the older Assassin's Creed, they're all in there. All the Far Cries are in there. All of the Splinter Cells from yesteryear are there. To me, it's worth it. $107, I guarantee you, is so worth the price of admission, because, again, if you're buying the deluxe edition of this game, it comes to just under $100. So you're getting this whole game plus everything else. To me, it's worth it. But Jamie Moran, I want to get your thoughts. Have you had an opportunity, because I know that you play a lot of games and you hate starting new games when you, of course, have a backlog that's as tall as you are. Have you played Assassin's Creed Shadow as of yet?
I haven't just yet. But here's the thing. people know that I talk about Mass Effect all the time because I'm kind of obsessed. But like when it
maybe
comes
just
to
a little bit,
just a little bit. But like I honestly, and I'm not even kidding, I absolutely adore the Assassin's Creed franchise. Like I've played every single entry, not just the main entries. I've played all of them. I have Assassin's Creed Bloodlines on the PSP. That game is terrible. Right? I had the ones on iOS, so like I love Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It was so boring. I wanted to find the nearest train track and just walk in front of it. Because like I put 90 hours into Valhalla and didn't make a dent in the story.
Yep.
And I was
terrible.
like, this
terrible.
game, and I was so happy to have like a game like this set in England, and they messed it up. Absolutely boring. But I've got too many games going at the minute, so like I'm probably going to get it next week. But like I'm looking forward to it. And like as Umber was saying, the whole 7 out of 10 thing, I kind of hate that mentality of how, like, you know, we have 10, which is a masterpiece. We have 9s, which are great. 8s are great, kind of, and, you know, good. And then 7's trash. Everyone uses 7 as a trash, right? Everyone. And I hate that, right? A 7 to me is like, yeah, that's still really good. You know, if a game is like a low 6 or like a 5, that's when I'd be like, okay, what's the details? But like a 7 to me.
What's wrong with it that you gave it a 5? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And like I've played every Assassin's Creed, and like this game looks fantastic. I mean, the biggest thing for me for Assassin's Creed is stealth, and the stealth mechanics really haven't changed over the past 7 years. And you know, when you play as Naue, from what I've seen, you have all these different stealth moves, right? Things I've been asking to be in the franchise for ages. I mean, hell, like being able to, like, you know, jump up to a ceiling. That's a really cool mechanic, and I can't wait to play that. But like the game looks fantastic, and Assassin's Creed has needed this sort of evolutionary jump when it comes to visuals for a long time, because Odyssey is gorgeous. Valhalla, while mind-numbingly boring, is a gorgeous game.
Yes, beautiful.
But like this is the first next gen, doing air quotes, next gen only Assassin's Creed game, and it clearly shows like interactive world. You can chop like plants in half or whatever. Like it's a really, really gorgeous looking world, and I think that, you know, if people aren't really in the know and play all the Assassin's Creed games, the truth is, for a long time, there's been this weird controversy for basically every Assassin's Creed game on some sort of level. You know, Mirage, which I think has phenomenal gameplay. It honestly, if people have never played Mirage, if you have Ubisoft Plus, I can get it on a sale. Mirage is incredible for the gameplay alone. Story is short, but the gameplay is great. And like, you know, Odyssey had its controversy because the map was too big. You know, that game's map is considered as a continent. You know, and that, like, I loved Odyssey. I think I put maybe 12 days in Odyssey. It's just such a good game. And you know, for me, like I'm a fan of the Assassin's Creed games from like the older days. I sound like an old fart saying that, but like I like the older style games where before they were RPGs. But I still like these as well, and I think Shadows looks fantastic. I think a lot of people using the concurrent player count on Steam isn't the right way to go, because that doesn't equate sales. Like you could have 100,000 people buy a game, and then only have like 10,000 people online at any given time. So I think that's a weird thing. But honestly, the game looks fantastic. I always root for Ubisoft. They get so much hate. And it really annoys me because they own a lot of my favorite franchises, like Splinter Cell. By the way, this year it'll have been 13 years, 12 years since we had a Splinter Cell game.
Sheesh.
That's crazy, dude. Like, if you think about it, it literally skipped multiple generations.
Yeah, like we had a Splinter Cell Blacklist, August 2013, and I could cry myself to sleep at night. It's been that long. But like, you know, like Ghost Recon, Far Cry, like I like all these rumors of Ubisoft going under and selling off IP. In my opinion, if it was up to me, I want Ubisoft to stay as Ubisoft. Just get back to making games how they used to, because I think, you know, with all the drama you see online at the minute, like Assassin's Creed looks like an amazing game. It looks like it has amazing, you know, gameplay, all that stuff. The problem with Ubisoft at the minute, and this has been the Achilles heel for, I want to say, a little over 10 years, is that they start making all of their games have similar elements. So like back before like the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 launched, you had Assassin's Creed, which was its own thing. You had Splinter Cell, which was a linear third-person shooter stealth game. You had Ghost Recon, which was a third-person military shooter in a linear setting. And you had Far Cry, which was an open-world action game in first person.
You got Rayman too, Jamie. You got Rayman, and you got what's that other one? Prince of Persia, which was
you have Dance Dance Revolution, right? Is that what it is? Is it Revolution?
Dance Revolution, yeah.
Yep. And like all of their games felt so different from each other. But then in like 2014 when Far Cry 4 came out and Watch Dogs and basically Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I love that game. All of their games start having the same elements. You go to a tower, you unlock part of the map, and that's when it became a meme. So basically all of their franchises became the same. I mean, hell, Watch Dogs is one of the few GTA competitors, and I'm doing air quotes with competitors, and that franchise absolutely tanks because Ubisoft doesn't know what to do with the IP, and they basically turned it into a modern Assassin's Creed game. I could rant about this all day, but like for me, I can't wait to play Shadows. I'm sorry I'm ranting a bit, but I think Ubisoft...
that's okay, dude. No, I'm listen. This is a conversational podcast, brother. We're happy to have it.
Yeah, like Ubisoft.
You're gonna love it, man. You're gonna love it.
I can't wait to get to it. Ubisoft, like I want them to have huge success. And like, look, they have a habit of releasing good games and not even talking about them. Like I talk about this on my channel all the time. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. That game, as an Avatar fan, is perfect.
I heard that was really good. I haven't played that.
Gorgeous game.
Yeah.
There was some mechanics that drove me crazy. The unlocking mechanic just... I don't know if they fixed it, but it was terrible. Oh my god, the game was gorgeous though.
Oh, you know what, Jamie? What was that war-torn game you play? It's kind of a flat 2D kind of game, and you go through like this. You got these French characters and stuff like that during World War I.
Valiant Hearts.
Yeah, Valiant Hearts. That was World War II. That was excellent. World War One, actually. Yes.
Yeah, World War One. Because I remember the mustard mask, the gas mask, and all that. That was dope. By the way.
Like all of their games were so different, and like I keep latching on to Avatar because nobody bloody played it. They didn't advertise it at all. Like in the UK, I've never seen a single trailer since that game came out. They have another expansion coming out this year. No information on it, and like that game has to be one of the most impressive games visually of all time. You have this huge interactive 3D world with floating mountains, which you could actually go to and climb and explore. And they did nothing with it. They didn't advertise it. Star Wars Outlaws had the potential to be a game of the generation title, and they messed it up because some of the third person shooting mechanics are kind of terrible. But like, it's still a fun game there. And like, look, we see all the drama about Assassin's Creed, and like on some kind of level, every Ubisoft title has some drama around it now. Every single one. And honestly, as a Ubisoft fan, it's tiring, but it's kind of brought on themselves because they don't help themselves. Their PR department clearly don't know what they're doing. And they launched this game. Everyone that's played it clearly loves the game. So like, I think if people genuinely like action games, stealth games, like this is probably going to be for them. But I think people just need to pay less attention because we see those accounts on Twitter, right? They want this game to fail for various reasons. And the truth is, it's just another Assassin's Creed game, right? It's another Assassin's Creed game in a territory that people have been wanting Assassin's Creed set in Japan since 2007, right? Mm-hmm. I was on the message boards when the first game came out.
Wow.
Everyone was talking about how like we need different settings for this franchise. And Japan has always been mentioned. Always.
Yes. So, number one on the list for me anyway.
Yeah. And by the way, one of my most wanted settings was actually, a Viking setting, England or Norway. And I bored out of my mind.
You got it, and it was terrible.
You got what you wanted, but it wasn't what you needed.
But outside of that, like I can't wait to play the game.